After portal gunning my way through all 7 seasons of Rick and Morty, something reached through the screen and slapped me in the face. Jerry Smith isn't just the galaxy's most pathetic man, he's also a certified criminal. The galaxy's most pathetic certified criminal.
We have to tell the cops you were driving. What? This is rum raisin!
Well, Jerry can't hide behind his wife and kids today because I'll be ranking his crimes from the pathetically petty to offenses that make the great Rick Sanchez look pale in comparison. First up on Jerry's long list of crimes is animal cruelty. It's no secret Jerry's too afraid to pick on someone his own size, but when it comes to defenseless animals, he likes to think he's at the top of the food chain.
What's wrong?
Your idiot dog!
Oh, he didn't mean it, Dad. Did you, Snuffles? You're a good boy.
Don't praise
You're a
him
good
now,
dog.
Morty. He just peed on the carpet. Bad dog!
Although, as soon as they get a few brain cells, justice is served, and Jerry goes back to being a bottom feeder.
Gentlemen, a moment of your time. See that? I'm peeing all over your special guns. That means I own them.
Bad person. Bad. Ooh, great plan, Jerry.
The episode Morty's Mind Blowers, however, takes a much darker turn when Jerry is tasked transporting Morty's beloved alien friend Gobo to a remote wooded area so he can return home without any meddling from the government. And yeah, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, that is an E.T. reference. But Jerry gets his wires crossed and, well, I don't think Gobo will be going home anytime soon.
Did you guys get Gobo home?
You have Gobo. You were supposed to bring him to the hill.
As if. He was in your basket.
He was in your car. Oof, dibs on his stuff.
Oh, Jerry. Leaving a little alien in a new strange world, locked up in a metal oven to be cooked alive in the baking sun. Talk about animal cruelty! And yeah, I say animal cruelty because Gobo isn't like one of the run-of-the-mill humanoid aliens. Not like it makes it any better, of course, but if this was in the real world, Jerry would be lucky to escape prison here, especially with the government sniffing around. But the most he'd likely get is a 90-day prison sentence and a $10,000 fine. But that's nothing compared to the emotional damage of killing his son's beloved alien friend, which is kind of ironic because next on the list is a crime that Jerry commits literally every single day: child neglect. Stating the obvious, letting your kids spend all their free time with their crazy, drunk, and dangerous grandfather is bad enough, but somehow Jerry steps over that insane line. Like the time he was A-OK with Summer and Morty going to an apocalyptic Mad Max-ified version of Earth to fight vicious mutants.
Light them up!
Or what about when he heads off on a vacation leaving the kids with Rick, only for Rick to throw a wild party and invite half the criminals in the known universe? That's without mentioning them disappearing into deep space where giant man-eating testicle monsters are waiting for their next meal.
Big star in the sky, oxygen-rich atmosphere, giant testicle monsters. We'll be fine, let's party!
Just shake that.
This show's weird, but the worst of all is when he roped Summer and Morty into hunting innocent alien creatures just to impress his new soul-bond girlfriend.
Britt Isaac assahole.
Don't snap at me, I'm tired.
Me too!
We're all tired.
That's the last of them. Tonight, we celebrate.
With a hunt?
Yes. For tomorrow, we hunt.
You could stretch the truth and say that Jerry is just spending some quality time with his kids, but I'd hardly call this quality time.
I'm sure you noticed what she has 3 of, but guess what she has 2 of?
But it gets worse after the kids tell their dad that they aren't fans of his new alien huntress fling. He breaks it off with Kiara and blames them.
To your addicted lifestyles!
Hi, I need to pull Morty out of school. Come on, Morty.
You heard your daddy, Morty. You have to leave school. Wait, what are my values?
Dad, what's going on?
We're going to Alaska.
What? Why?
It's nice there. Also, I broke up with Kiara and she didn't take it well and she wants to murder you two.
What? Then why are we walking?
I'm walking because I'm tired. You guys should definitely run.
Excuse me,
That's what to do, Jerry. Feign responsibility and land your kids in hot water.
Children must be destroyed so that we can be together.
You need to break up with her, Dad, properly. God damn it, Dad! Stop her!
Luckily, he musters up enough courage to make things right, but by then, the damage is already done. I mean, realistically, you could pull honestly any episode of the show and find Jerry guilty of child neglect, and that's without even thinking about things like the time he takes Morty out of school or the mental impact it has on the kids. If this was the real world, Jerry would be looking at 18 months in the slammer with a $25,000 fine and being put on a 24-month parenting program to brush up his skills. Not that it would matter with Rick around, but whatever. Speaking of Rick, in the episode Something Ricked This Way Comes, Rick is too busy fighting the devil, you know, pretty standard stuff. Well, whilst Rick's doing whatever the hell that is, Morty needs help with his science fair project. So for once, Jerry steps up to the paternal plate and decides to help his son. He suggests building a model solar system, but there's just one small problem. Jerry thinks Pluto is a planet.
Googled it. Pluto's not a planet. They changed it in 2006.
Yeah, I heard about that, Morty. And I disagree.
Well, considering the argument was settled like 2 decades ago, no one really talks about Pluto anymore, and when the distant Plutonians hear of Jerry's support, they send him a ship for him and Morty so they can thank him in the flesh.
Jerry Smith is a scientist from Earth, where he's creating a model of our solar system. Jerry, tell Pluto about your decision.
Pluto's a planet.
Pluto's a planet!
So Jerry is posing as an Earth scientist to what? Impress his son? Give himself a few extra imaginary IQ points? Or like everything else in Jerry's life? Is this about getting one up on Rick? Either way, the power is kind of going to his head, and all is not as it seems on little Pluto.
The center of Pluto, Mr. Smith, is made of a substance called plutonium. Mines like these suck plutonium up to the cities, where corporations use it to power everything, from diamond cars to golden showers. And the more we remove, the more Pluto shrinks. There it goes again. Just shrank a little.
So King Flippy Nips is part of a rich regime that, is part of a rich regime that is sucking Pluto dry, and he's got Jerry in his pocket spreading propaganda for a pat on the back. Morty tries to get it through to him, but
Dad, their whole planet is dying.
Ha! You called it a planet. Checkmate. What's up, Pluto?
he's not listening, is he? 4 billion Plutonians are on the brink of extinction, and all Jerry cares about is a round of applause. When Morty gives up on him, Jerry finally starts to see the error of his ways.
Pluto is a cold, cold celestial dwarf.
It's a what?
Huh? Oh, planet! Oh, Pluto is a cold, cold planet! That's what I meant. Knock 'em dead out there, you.
And maybe, just maybe, there's still some good in Jerry after all.
Is... not a planet. It's not a planet! Hey, it's not a planet! I'm an idiot! I love my son!
Well, there you have it. He's finally admitted it. Better late than never, I guess. But Jerry's power trip to Pluto is gonna cost him. Pretending to be a leading Earth scientist just to score some points with aliens doesn't look good on a resume. Because of this, Jerry would be charged with fraudulent misrepresentation and complicity in environmental exploitation. Try saying that 10 times fast. For those crimes, Jerry's wallet would most likely be taking the biggest hit here. He'd be sentenced to a year behind bars just due to the sheer scale and impact of the fraud. And we can safely follow that up with $75,000 in damages for the reputational cost of the entire planet. The next crime on Jerry's rap sheet brings us to the episode Interdimensional Cable 2, where Jerry is recovering after coming down with the worst case of space rabies on record.
Don't worry about Jerry. He's gonna be fine. You hear me, Jerry? You're gonna be fine. Whoa! Ooh, watch out for that stuff. It'll stain if it gets on your clothes, and it'll send you into a murderous rage if it gets in your eyes or mouth.
During his stay, the galaxy's most influential civil rights leader, Shrimply Pibbles, is rushed to the hospital with heart failure, and the only chance he has of surviving is if Jerry gives up his...
It's perfect. The configuration of veins, the ratio of thickness to elasticity, the delicate asymmetry of what you call your balls. And with relatively few adjustments, your genitals can be molded into a functioning heart for the most important man in the universe.
You know, it's kind of a sad marriage when an alien civil rights leader wants your more than your wife. But that's a different conversation. Jerry, being Jerry, dives headfirst into the operation, hoping even though he'd lose his manhood, he'd be left looking like an alpha male. But just before he gets the snip, he realizes he'd rather keep his tackle than give it to someone with a heroin addiction.
Heroin addiction may not have been a matter of public record.
You realize heroin makes up 10% of the atmosphere on Shrimply Pibble's home planet.
His planet was destroyed by Klargan death squads. He can't live outside of it without breathing heroin.
So not only does half of humanity think Jerry's a pathetic loser, but he's somehow alienated a bunch of actual aliens. This galactic rejection fuels another U-turn for Jerry, who now wants his Shrimply Pibbles at all costs. Hey, Anna, you know what I mean?
Mr. Smith, what are you doing? Are you insane? I'm a good person, and I demand that you cut off my and put it in that man's chest.
That's not how it works.
Well, you're gonna make it work.
Show how much of a good guy he is. Jerry takes a room full of innocent healthcare professionals hostage at gunpoint, which is a little bit counterproductive if you ask me.
Do it! Remove my
Sir, put the gun down and step away from Mr. Pibbles.
Jerry, Dad, what are you doing?
I'm a good person. I'm a good person.
Where did he get a gun? Who gave him a gun?
That's not a gun. That's the XP-20XS.
Well, it turns out he took them at point. Never in my life did I ever want a reason to say that sentence. When it comes to his sentencing, though, Jerry is one lucky man, because if that was an actual gun, this would be easily higher up on the list. But due to the fact the weapon he threatened to use wouldn't be considered as inherently deadly, Jerry would be slapped with an assault with a simulated deadly weapon charge. If Jerry Smith somehow did this on planet Earth, he'd easily be seeing the inside of a jail cell for at least 5 years. Or no. Jerry has a habit of just diving into things without giving much thought, and when he's presented with a Meeseeks box that spawns an alien that'll help him do simple, and I repeat, simple tasks, he cranks that up to 11.
Simple.
Hey there, I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
Mr. Meeseeks, I would like to take 2 strokes off my golf game.
Ooh, yeah, can do.
Nailed it.
So when Jerry hears the word simple, he thinks golf. As you'd expect, that idea goes down like a lead balloon.
That's okay. I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. Try again and keep your head down.
Okay, well, which is it? Square my shoulders or keep my head down?
Well, it's both.
Jerry's idiotic idea is then made 100 times worse as his original Meeseeks spawns more Meeseeks to get the job done.
Okay, Jerry, you gotta just choke up on the club.
Well, which is it? Choke up or follow through?
Oh, come on, Jerry, we've been over this. You know you gotta do both. This is as frustrating for us as it is for you.
Don't tell me that. That just puts pressure on me.
Just try to relax.
You try to relax. Have you ever tried to relax? It is a paradox.
Too many cooks spoil the golfing broth, and not even the combined efforts of the Meeseeks can get Jerry a swingin'. Before a race of aliens who do their thing and vanish, spending all this time with Jerry's taking its toll, which it would for anyone, to be fair.
Hey, Jerry, you mind if we get back to the task at hand? Meeseeks don't usually have to exist this long. It's getting weird.
Seeing the Meeseeks tearing their hair out over his golf game doesn't fill Jerry with any remorse, though, and instead of trying to fix his stupid mistake, he decides taking Beth to dinner is more important.
I'll take you to dinner.
Come on!
Hey, you know what? It's hard being me, too. I'll be right there. Look, I've got a marriage to keep together. At this point, my golf swing is more your problem than mine.
I can't take it anymore! I just want to die! We all want to die! We're Meeseeks!
Which, ball out, King. There you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. He doesn't care. He leaves the neurotic Meeseeks alone as they tear each other limb from limb in frustration. But the original Meeseeks rallies the troops and comes up with a plan to fix Jerry's golf game once and for all.
We'll never get 2 strokes off his game! No, we won't! But we will get all strokes off his game! Where's he going? Where is he? When we kill him!
The horde of rabid Meeseeks attack the restaurant, trashing the place, firing bullets, taking people hostage, anything to get to their tormentor, Jerry.
Meeseeks are not born into this world fumbling for meaning, Jerry! We are created to serve a singular purpose for which we will go to any lengths to fulfill! Existence is pain to a Meeseeks, Jerry, and we will do anything to alleviate that pain! Just ask, what's your name, ma'am?
Samantha, please, mister! Give him what he wants!
Through sheer dumb luck and an extraordinary wife, Jerry manages to send the Meeseeks packing, but in their wake, they leave a trashed restaurant full of badly shaken and injured people.
I think we'll take our food to go.
No, you won't. The police are coming. You have so many questions to answer.
Fair enough.
Jerry's total lack of taking responsibility only compounds his Meeseek's mistake, and without doubt, this is one of the strongest cases of reckless endangerment you're likely to see. Granted, it wasn't out of spite or anything like that, but the fact it was total cocky incompetence almost makes it worse. Jerry would at the very least be looking at 8 years behind bars for this, and don't forget the damages to the restaurant, which would easily be $125,000, not purely for physical damages, but reputational as well. Ah, jeez. Jerry, things are not looking good for you, dude. By my count, you're already racking up 25 years and 9 months of jail time with a whopping $235,000 in fines to boot. You could really do with Rick's portal gun right now, huh? The worst part is, we're not even done. With the crime still to come, we're gonna have to start calling Jerry Evil Jerry or something. This brings us on to his next crime, and as you know, Jerry's usually the guy that cowers at the first sign of danger.
Oh, God.
Whoa, what the hell?
Look out for that homeless guy!
Open the door, open the door, open the door!
There isn't time! Just run!
But in the episode Analyze Piss, when a warped superhero called Pissmaster shows up at the family home and starts leering at Summer, Jerry sees red and is ready to put him in his place.
Just stay down. I don't even know you.
Yeah, you don't know me, but I'm gonna know your whole ass, you son of a gun.
Hey, none of that.
Break it up, guys.
Well, that's a fight, all right. All right, aesthetics aside, Jerry goes to town on Pissmaster, and passersby record their scuffle and put it on the internet.
I'm sorry I sexualized you. You came out wrong.
That's my dad. That's my dad.
Having sent Pissmaster packing, Jerry's the talk of the town online, while Pissmaster is ridiculed by every person in the galaxy. So much so that even Rick feels the need to check up on him.
God damn it.
The weight of his newfound fame was clearly too much for Pissmaster to handle. I mean, the guy was called Pissmaster. He couldn't have even been that happy to begin with. Was it just bad timing? I mean, who knows? This might not have anything to do with the Jerry situation.
I'm killing myself because of Jerry Smith, the Earthman, Flamingo Dad. Seeing them all cheer as I got my ass whipped made me realize people just want to see me fail. All I've ever wanted to do is prove them wrong.
Yeah, okay, I mean, the evidence here is pretty damning. The assault that led to the unfortunate death of Pissmaster is directly linked to Jerry through not only the viral video, but the note left behind by him. Jerry's actions didn't directly or intend to cause his death, but his actions were negligent, and the beating was pretty rough. Because of this, Jerry would likely be charged with involuntary manslaughter, a crime that would see him face the inside of a jail cell for at least 10 years. There's this childlike rebellion in Jerry whenever Rick explicitly tells him to not do something, like in the episode The Old Man in the Seat, where Rick has hired an intern named Gluty to do some odd jobs around the house. The catch is that Gluty really wants to develop an app, and under no circumstances is he allowed to. So much so, Rick has stamped his forehead with "Do not develop my app." But when did simple and clear instructions ever stop Jerry Smith?
He's really putting you to work, huh?
Did you want to develop an app?
I'll pass, Gluty.
Your loss.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
That's an app you'd want to develop.
Can I ask what it is?
Of course you can. That's always the first step in app development.
Ah. 50-50, final offer.
The app that Jerry and Gluty make is called Love Finders. That's with 2 R's and a Z. And at first, sure, it feels like a Temu version of Tinder, but soon it's realized that there's something a little stronger going on.
This isn't working.
Wait, what are you... Never mind.
I quit, I'm gay, and I love Xander.
Stupid phones are destroying us.
Hey, sweetie.
Honey, our daughter ran off with a frisbee golfer because of some app with a really dumb, really forgettable name. Like a really dumb, uncreative, super sweaty name. Anyway, I'll be late. I love you.
Got it. I love you too.
To shut down this chaos-causing app, Jerry, Morty, and Gluty head to the mothership full of other Gluty-like aliens, which is circling the Earth.
Greetings. We are the Monogatrons. While your species was still toying with fire, ours mastered the science of functioning, committed relationships. As the latest planet to develop our app, you will now witness the true power of superior intimacy.
Okay, so you're telling me all this guy wants is for people to love each other? That's it? There's no evil plan?
Here's the evil plan.
God damn it!
As a pre-app civilization, your love's value is defined by scarcity. You are highly trained to seek it, and you have no idea how to maintain it. Had you bothered to master love, you would have learned by now it is as abundant as water. You know what isn't? Water. That runs out. So we'll be taking yours.
You got me. So he wants to suck the earth dry of water because his species is running out. Oh, good. Humans are only, what, 73% water? Way to go, Jerry. Humanity is now on the brink of destruction because of your app.
Did you know humans are 80% water?
80%? Oh, it just gets worse. Quick, someone tell me, what's the best way to destroy a loyal following when you're an app developer?
Ad wall? This.
Ad wall? They want us to pay for it now?
Come on, Mom. Let's go home.
Thanks to Glute's change of heart and loads of horrendous ads, humanity is saved and left to love each other in their own weird ways. And when it comes to Jerry, he is once again a lucky, lucky man, because if the Monogatrons had even slightly succeeded, he would have been part of the reason why half the planet died of thirst. If it was up to me, I'd slap Jerry with an aiding and abetting in the commission of a crime charge, and at minimum, he'd be looking at 15 years in prison with a $150,000 fine. All for not following simple instructions. The next crime on our list towers over the others so far, though, and it brings us to the episode The Whirly-Durly Conspiracy. The episode is set sometime after Beth had filed for divorce with Jerry, and it's fair to say that he is not taking it well. Because he knows his former son-in-law is taking a huge hit emotionally, and Morty is worried about his dad ending up like Piss Master, rest in piss, big dog, Rick decides to take Jerry on a little adventure to lift his spirits.
Oh, Jerry, come on. We gotta go. You gotta come with me, Jerry.
Rick?
It's important, Jerry. The fate of the galaxy rests on your shoulders. Let's go. Put some pants on. Never mind. There's no time for pants, Jerry. I'll make you a pair of pants on the way. It's a Rick and Jerry adventure.
And just in case Jerry gets an itchy trigger finger, Rick's idea of a good time is in a holiday resort where you can't die. No, like literally a special place where you cannot die.
I'm not gonna take you somewhere dangerous.
Rick Sanchez. I told you if I ever saw your face in here again, I would stick you like the pig you are.
Snoopy bloopers. I told you if you tried, there'd be 2 funerals.
Someone? Someone?
My friend, it has been too
It's great
long.
to see you again, buddy.
Hey, Rick's a genius for a reason. Where else do you take the most fragile being in the universe? Either way, they actually do have a good time, have a few drinks, good laughs, until Jerry needs a whiz and ends up getting sucked into the bathroom wall.
My hands are dry! My hands are dry!
My name is Risotto Groupon. I am the assistant general manager of the restaurant.
Do you have any comic cards? Because I might have some thoughts.
Risotto Groupon, which a baller name by the way, goes on to explain that Rick supplied weapons to his enemies which resulted in his kingdom falling, and he wants to get even in a big way.
Do you like theme park rides?
Well, you really moved on.
There is a popular attraction here called the Whirly-Durly. Between the first whirly and the third durly, the ride dips just outside the immortality field.
You're asking me to lure Rick to his death?
I'm only asking you to go on a ride with Rick, get off the ride without Rick, and go home to your family.
So Jerry is left with a choice. Lure Rick to his certain death and go back to his family, picking up the pieces of what Rick broke, or go back to being a part-time slob and a full-time loner. And in fairness to Jerry, he declines the offer at first.
Jerry, I hope you're not suggesting that I had anything to do with your marriage breaking up, because there are some major issues between you and Beth that have been there since you guys met. Hey, to new beginnings.
To the Whirly-Durly.
The Whirly-Durly?
So with that little outburst from Rick turning the tide, Jerry sets everything in motion, and he can almost taste the freedom that a life without Rick would give him. Well, that is until Rick turns into a total softie.
I'll cop to it. I put a lot of strain on your marriage. It wasn't fair. I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't respect your marriage. I certainly didn't do it any favors, and for what it's worth, I'll apologize to Beth for it when we get home.
Woo! Whirly-durly! Yeah!
So you mean all Jerry had to do was not be a pathetic loser 100% of the time and Rick would actually do him a solid? Well, Jerry's guilt goes into full overdrive mode and he manages to stop Groupon's gang from killing Rick. But he does destroy the whirly-durly in the process, the immortality shield, and yeah, you can kind of guess where this leads.
Leave that?
Oh, this is so messy. Okay, off the bat, we've got Jerry on a conspiracy to commit murder charge. That's basically in the title of the episode anyway, but the damage caused at the resort and the destruction of the immortality shield resulting in the alien girl's death is gross criminal negligence. Also, the least Jerry is getting is 20 years for this one, and he can expect at least $250,000 in fines. Oh, and I couldn't possibly forget the most important punishment of all.
It's about the journey, not the destination, right, Jerry?
It's not every day Rick tries to do something nice for Jerry, but in Rattlestar Ricklactica, when Jerry is struggling to put some Christmas lights up, Rick offers a helping hand.
Then I'll tell her. Whoa! Oh, I told you no more rays. What ray did you zap me with?
I made your atomic matrix slightly lighter than air. And now your shoes are heavier than air, which makes you neutrally buoyant, which I find personally more impressive conceptually than walking on water. But what do I know? I wasn't born into the God business. I earned it.
So with Jerry literally jumping for joy with his weightlessness, he can't help himself and heads out to show off his new skills in the hopes that it gives him a crumb of attention. And where does a man go when he can jump super high? The basketball court.
Hey, who's interested in a friendly bet that this white guy can jump?
Hey, leave the racial stuff off the court, okay?
Oh, I thought that kind of talk was part of street ball.
Well, now it's part of everything else, so chill.
We got off on the wrong foot. My name's Jerry Smith. I live in the suburbs. I'm only here because I have a certain power I wanted to kind of celebrate before it goes away.
Yo, we got a up here.
Hey, I think there's a misunderstanding. Here, just watch. Huh?
Help! Help! I need that shoe!
Never mind. Jerry's cockiness once again gets the better of him as he flies through the skies like an empty packet of chips. Come to think of it, what flavor would Jerry be? Why am I thinking about this? Beth calls Jerry to see if he's okay, and for once Rick is worried as well.
Where you at?
Go to hell, Rick.
Come on, Jerry. I can recognize the sound of a seagull.
Can you recognize the sound of a man's pants filling up with rain?
I hope to one day.
That's just his pride talking. Now it's time for his ego.
If I survive, it'll be without you. And if I die, it'll be on your ass. Merry Christmas.
I am the Jesus Christ of Christmas!
So what's Jerry's big plan to get home? To cling onto an airplane, of course. Because why wouldn't it be? But he's offered one last lifeline when a serpent-styled robot from Snake Planet shows up. Long story. Even though the robot swears it wants to save him and has nothing to do with Rick, Jerry can't help being himself.
Want help?
I do not know Rick. I was sent by a society of human-snake hybrids
Classic
from an alternate
Rick.
version of...
I did it! We're landing! I knew I could do it!
He crashes a whole airplane, potentially killing hundreds of people, does serious damage to at best wildlife, and at worst a whole city. All because he couldn't figure out how to wear shoes. It's hard to say exactly what the outcome would be because we don't have any idea of the fatalities or the scope of the damage caused, but we do know one thing: it's bad. It's an open and shut case of gross negligent manslaughter. A 747 carries 467 passengers, and at the minimum charge, without question, Jerry would be charged with 1 year per passenger, as well as an added 15-year sentence for aviation sabotage. So bring that to a grand total of 482 years. But somehow, this pales in comparison to what comes next. You can chalk a lot of Jerry's crimes down to being either a total incompetent person or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But in the episode of the Jerrick Trap, he crosses a line so big that there might not be any coming back. Jerry does what he does best and spends his afternoon annoying Rick, and usually that's water off a duck's back. But when Jerry suggests that Rick is only as smart as he is through chance, the old scientist snaps and demands that he and Jerry swap minds to prove that being smart is hard work. Oh, I actually didn't think he'd take it that badly. Well, I'm sure Jerry will take the swap in stride and fix things up. Okay, well, it's not gone quite to plan, has it? Luckily, Rick has an overhead robot that can stitch them back together, but the problem is, where does Jerry start and Rick end?
What a turn. Lucky I'm such a genius, your garage can thwart death.
I'm the genius, and it's your garage, idiot. Hey, what the did you do to my body?
Your body. Jerry, your mind did that to my body using my brain.
Jerry.
I mean, at least they're alive. As you'd imagine, this causes no end to their problems, but when Morty is in danger due to some drug overlords, the best of Rick and Jerry team up to save him, and they like it.
The hand.
You might feel a pinch and maybe a rocket.
You'll have to aim. Hop on!
Rick and Jerry, now seeing the best of each other, team up into a criminal double act called Burger and Fries.
Beautiful day to be carrying glass, huh? I can't believe a dying kid would wish for a window.
Damn it!
Hey, stop there! They stole our crystal! Yeah, we stole those first!
Possession is 9/10 of my ass!
But petty crimes soon turn dark pretty quick.
Forget it, Burger!
It's our calling card!
So I guess this is what Jerry is now? He kills 2 people in the space of 30 seconds. Stealing drugs, taking drugs, constantly on the run. He's gone to like galactic Interpol levels of criminal activity. Now, I know that technically Rick is probably doing the heavy lifting when it comes to the criminal mind, but since both Burger and Fries committed murder, and the fact that without Jerry's mind melding with Rick's to create a perfect storm, this wouldn't have happened, Jerry has to be held to the full force of the law. He was at the very least an accessory to Chuxley. He brutally killed a grunt with a shovel and shot another between the eyes, and that's not even mentioning this.
Guess we should shoot the fuel tank, huh?
You guys could have done that the whole time?
Or the final shootout where we meet Burger and Fries in their ultimate form, known as Jerricky.
Daughter wife, you are safe now.
Holy all the positive aspects of each perfectly melded together?
Yes, I am Jerricky.
And oh boy, do they go on a tear.
Also, everything's flammable!
Or I should say split. Jerry's a mass murderer. There's no weaving your way around that one. And with 31 victims, all earning him 30 years apiece, the total prison time for this killing spree would be 930 years. Hope you like prison food, Jerry. Now, what could possibly be worse than mass murder? Well, I've got 2 words for you, Mr. Frundles.
Look who I found in Rick's room.
I'm Mr. Frundles.
I don't care how cute he is. We agreed, no boogans in the house.
Wait, season 2, Jerry, don't!
Mr. Frundles.
Everybody in the car.
I'm Mr. Frundles.
Wait, but I thought he was Mr. Frundles.
Everybody in the car, now!
I'm Mr. Frundles. I'm Mr. Frundles.
What the Dad? Why would you bring that thing into our house?
It was cute!
Yeah, that's the way to go, Jerry. Release an all-consuming alien parasite that destroys your entire planet. There's no room to get worse as a human now, is there? You've literally ended your entire species. Hey, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. Maybe some of you at home are thinking, no, go back. There must be a way to fix things. Well... So for his crimes against humanity, Jerry would just have the key thrown away. He'd be slapped with 25 years per person he accidentally kills. So let me just do some quick maths here. 8 billion multiplied by 20. Okay, yeah, so let's carry the 1. Carry the, I actually don't care. Yeah, that's 200 billion years. Not that there are any Mr. Frundles free bars left for him to go behind, thanks, Jerry. When it's all said and done, Jerry Smith would be a very lucky man to escape these crimes with anything less than 200 billion, 1,047 years and 9 months behind bars, and a bank account busting $635,000 worth of fines. Pretty impressive for a so-called pathetic loser. But compared to some of the other criminal characters out there, Jerry is a small fish in a big pond. So go on, click the video on screen, and see how the real villains measure up.